scoot around on my bum if I haven't got my leg on.
I'm very good at hopping.
I'm a big advocate for having as little clothes on as often as possible.
This is Engaged, where we bring together two strangers to share their powerful stories, all from the safe space of the women's bathroom.
So before I had my leg amputated just over a year ago, I worked in facilities, and then after I had my leg amputated, I was signed to a modelling agency for people with disabilities.
You have mentioned that you are an amputee. Can you share a little bit about your experience with that?
I had my left leg amputated below the knee last April because I was born with a bone disease which caused me to have chronic pain my whole life. To be extra lucky, I ended up with tumours as well. So after having chemo 3 times and a couple of surgeries, they asked me if I wanted to have my leg amputated, and I said yes.
Are you happy with kind of how everything's played out?
It's the best thing that I've ever done. Honestly, it's changed my life. I'm not in pain anymore and I'm just so much happier. I'm much better off without it. So how long have you been an amputee for?
I was born with a shortened limb on my left side, but had it further amputated a few months after birth.
So you're good at hopping?
I'm very good at hopping.
I'm really bad at hopping. Scoot around on my bum if I haven't got my leg on.
It's fun. So Laura, since becoming an amputee, what has been one of the most difficult things to learn to adjust to?
I find it really difficult asking for help and like being vulnerable, and sometimes I just feel like I'm a bit of a burden. I want to do everything by myself, but unfortunately sometimes hopping across the room with a hot cup of coffee just isn't going to happen.
Consistently, one of the most difficult things I feel like I've dealt with throughout my life is just not wanting to inconvenience others, wanting to be independent, wanting to have all of those things, and just recognizing sometimes you're going to have to ask for help, and that's such a vulnerable thing to do.
I have to like pep myself up to ask him because I just hate doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't want him to ever feel like he's my carer, you know, rather than my husband.
So Laura, how and when did you meet your husband? I'd love to hear the love story.
I met him on Tinder. The first time we met, / our first date, was actually in the hospital. I didn't tell him what was wrong with me because I was scared that it would like frighten him, scare him away. I was just going through the end of chemo at the time. He texted me the morning saying, "How are you going to get to hospital?" And I said that my mum was taking me and he offered to take me instead.
Oh my God.
My kind of dark, twisted sense of humour thought it would be really funny to not tell him while we were going to the hospital. But I chickened out in the car park and I told him. Very quickly, he stepped up to looking after me and making sure I was okay.
Something interesting about myself. Basically, I used to do dance competitions.
That's pretty amazing that, you know, someone who was born with a limb difference would have anyone encourage them. Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than people just saying, "Oh, you can't do that, you've only got one leg."
It was so weird to kind of figure out what my body was doing, because I didn't have anybody that looked like me in any form of media, in any form of role model role. It took finding a community online to really feel like I had any sort of worth. I do want to represent and showcase that disabled people like myself can be beautiful, can be pretty, can be sexy, can be insert any sort of positive affirmation about one's aesthetic here. Everybody is beautiful.
I'm a big advocate for having as little clothes on as often as possible and for like freeing the female nipple, and I just wish that the internet was a safe space for women to express themselves with their body and be confident in their body no matter what size, what shape, what colour, you know, anything about you. I wish that women and people who identify as women could be free to do those things on the internet. I don't know how to fix it.
I don't either.
I want to.
I have faced a decent amount of judgment and prejudice and discrimination and all of the fun things throughout my life. There was a long time growing up where I kind of just accepted the fact that I was a lesser human because I was disabled and that I kind of deserved it, and like, why would people really treat me equally? I'm only half of a person. Now that I'm older and I've started building my own confidence and coming into my own person and also entering into the disability community online, I've started to now realize, oh gosh, I'm being discriminated against a lot. There's a lot of judgment in the world. There's a lot of hate in the world still for people like me and people like you, Laura, and it's exhausting.
I would say, as someone who went from having an invisible disability to having a visible disability, that the way I was treated before I had my operation, I feel like it was worse then compared to what I do now. And you know, I'm very visibly disabled. When you're walking around and you're in a wheelchair or you've got a prosthetic leg on, everyone can see that you're disabled. You just don't get any respect from anyone when you have an invisible disability because they don't understand what's wrong with you, they can't see what's wrong with you. I very much feel like I'm a newbie. You've probably experienced everything that I have 10 times over and could give me a hell of a lot more advice than I could give you.
Having community is so important in helping you feel seen, because you'll never feel seen in a society that's not ready to view you. Really be true to who you are. And I know for myself, that was one of the hardest things growing up, was being able to be authentic and be disabled and be proud of that in some capacity.